Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I tell you, it's man, we got a busy day today. It is action-packed, and I'm just hoping there's no injuries. Michael Rager, he's here. He's a regular contributor on The Price of Business. Love what he does, and love his company, love the work. Michael, why don't you start off? Kind of give us the information, give us the elevator speech about what you do and what your company is all about.
Well, sure, Kevin. Thanks a lot. Love this Tuesday morning here. Well, Corporate Memory Solutions, we're a company. What we do is we help companies understand who does what, how, and why within their organization. We want to make sure that people understand how to be successful. We want to make sure that our business owners are successful, but not only them, we want to make sure their team's successful. We want to make sure that their best contributors can leave a legacy to that business, can just keep moving right along.
Very good. By the way, give your website.
Sure, it's www.corporatememorysolutions.com.
Well, we love what you do, which is why we asked you to be regulars on our program, and love the guests that you bring. Tell us about your guests today.
Well, like I told you last month, I had the pleasure to go out to the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Awards and got to meet a couple of the winners. And today we got Dr. Setul Patel and Neighbors Emergency Center. So, Dr. Patel, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, give me a little bit of the feedback. What it was like being nominated for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year. What did that mean to you?
Well, it was a tremendous honor and opportunity. Thanks to BBVA Compass Bank for nominating me. It wasn't my first time being nominated, and I definitely did not expect to win, but it was quite a surprise.
Well, we were talking a little bit earlier, and one of the things you felt that brought your company up and why you got there was culture. Tell me a little bit about the culture. I mean, we think of medicine, we think of a little bit sterile, white places, old hospitals. What's different about Neighbors and what's going on with your organization?
And even with that, if you don't mind me intervening just a little bit, why don't you kind of give the elevator speech on Neighbors and then, include that information as well. Kind of, what is Neighbors about? And then go ahead and include what makes it different from others out there, because there's a lot in your domain space, as you well know.
Absolutely.
As long as there's humans, there's going to be companies like yours.
So Neighbors is a fantastic organization. So our core business is freestanding emergency rooms. We are all across the state, soon to be all across the Southwest United States, and also in New England. So we take the first floor of the hospital, put it out in the community, take the best doctors, the best nurses, and the best staff, and that's Neighbors. And there's a great way that we get the best doctors, nurses, and staff, and that is our culture. We have really become a purpose-driven company with our main purpose being making lives better. And that includes everybody that's in our domain, not just our patients, but all of our employees, our staff, and also our communities.
Yeah, very good. Michael?
Well, with what you had, building a culture, what's it like building a culture in healthcare these days? How's it different than it was before?
So, culture in healthcare is tough because you have so many people to take care of from all different types of employment. And so one of the things we did over the last few months is we took 4 days and we took our founders, our senior staff, and even some new staff, and we locked ourselves in a room, and we took 4 days to figure out and revisit our mission statement, our purpose statement, and our vision, and we came up with some great ideas that we're now sort of taking out throughout the whole company.
Talk about the history of the company. How long have you guys been, in existence, and where did you get started? Are you a Houston-based company?
We are a Houston-based company. We started in 2008, a motley crew of 8 doctors who were quite frustrated with the way emergency medicine was practiced in the hospital and hallways and, cramped exam rooms, packed waiting rooms. And we said, you know what, we can do this better. We took it out into the community, and we've grown ever since.
Very good. Michael?
Well, one of the things we were talking about earlier is, you guys are expanding. You're serving that middle income market. So you're moving to the eastern seaboard. You guys are going out to Arizona. You're going to Colorado. One of the things you talked about is that culture. What do you think your biggest challenge is going to be to keep that going throughout the company?
Yeah, so really it's the, when you're doubling in size every year that we have, the dilution factor for your new staff becomes very important. So we have several things that we've put in place. So we not only have a director of human resources, we have a director of people and culture. And that person's sole job is to go out and make sure that our culture is spread, is filtered, and the new people that are onboarded are accepting of that culture. And we also have a culture committee that we formed that reports directly to the board of directors, and the director of people and culture report directly to me as CEO.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so how many locations do you have now nationwide?
We have 14 open, and we will have about 20 by January and then almost 35 to 40 by the end of next year.
This is interesting. Michael, how'd you find out about these guys? What a fascinating guess.
Well, it was just, when they announced the award, Setul sat out there and he wasn't sure what to say. I think he was in shock. What happened with your staff? What did they think when you won? What did it mean to them?
Well, the whole table erupted, and they had these little cowbells there that everybody was ringing. So I remember just kind of putting my head down, giving my wife a kiss, and walking up there. And my CFO actually asked me if I had a speech ready that morning. And I said, of course not. I'm not going to win. And then, of course, when I was up there, it all came and bit me.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. So do you have a medical background at all?
I do. I am a physician. I still practice medicine, actually. 2 days a month, I get down into the pit and see patients myself. And that's what we call the emergency room. We call it the pit. And so, to be able to do that, I still understand what's going on down at the very root level of what we do. And I think that speaks volumes within our organization.
And you work out of the Pearland area? You personally?
Yeah, I work at sort of all the facilities, but mainly out of Pearland because it's pretty close to my house.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael?
Well, as you grow, what do you think are going to be the challenges as you guys grow? You're looking to go nationwide. What are the things, this young doctor from Houston going across to the U.S.?
Well, so we run into sort of twofold challenges. One is regulatory. This is such a new concept in medicine. We're kind of helping the states come up with legislation and licensing mechanisms to allow our growth. And the second really is from the acceptance from the community. Again, such a new concept. People are like, well, what is this strange building that says emergency room on it? I'm used to the ER being in the hospital. But I think once people experience the care we provide and they understand the difference between us and an urgent care, they really know when to come to us, when it's appropriate, and really utilize our services.
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's fascinating. And I'm looking at the website, by the way. It's nec24.com.
Absolutely.
You look at that website, and I see that brand. I've seen that brand, and I can see, and I think I've seen it in a few locations here, just in the Houston area. How many locations do you have here?
Houston, we have 7 with 2 more opening over the next 4 months.
I think that's fantastic. And, I think about the kind of work that you're involved in, Michael. And obviously, obviously the kind of stuff you do has great power in terms of replicating what this company can do nationwide. So I think it's serendipitous that you guys know each other.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before. We think it's theirs. There's so much compliance issues. There are things that are there, and this is your baby, and we've got to keep it safe. We got to keep what's going. We got to keep that culture, and going from there and keep it moving. If I can ask you one last question, I guess, what's the one thing that you feel must be done with healthcare to make it affordable for all of us, and to ensure that everybody here in the U.S. is going to get the healthcare that they need?
That's a great question, Mike, and I think the answer to that is transparency. Healthcare right now is sort of a magic black box that everybody has the need for, right? But you don't understand how billing works and how insurance works and the complexities that go into that. And I think as transparency increases, all of that will become much easier for the patients. Very
good stuff. Very interesting interview, and I appreciate both of you being with us. Dr. Patel, enjoyed it, and again, as always, love having you on the program to talk about what you're doing with corporate memory. Give that website one more time.
Sure, it's www.corporatememorysolutions.com.
Yep, that's Michael Razor. Make sure you check him out. Always look forward to having you on, buddy.
Well, thanks a lot. We'll see you in a few weeks, Kevin. And, Dr. Patel, thank you so much for making yourself available for us today.
Thank you both. Great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. All right, when we come back, much more for you. Do you want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and this is The Price of Business.
I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if that makes you feel all right.